Even though I was the real saint, I was exiled, which means my country is over. By Utsuzawa Shikiso. Prologue 1. Elaine, as you are nothing but a fake saint, you're no longer needed. I was abruptly summoned to the royal palace. Because of this? Your Highness. Claude, the first prince of the Verkame kingdom, looked at me with contempt. Towards me. His fiancée. He was behaving so dumbly, I was at a loss for words. Your Highness, Claude, what do you mean, no longer needed? In truth, I already knew the answer, but I shall play along with him. Afterwards, there will be no turning back. It's as I've said, you fooled this kingdom, pretending to be the real saint even though you aren't. This kingdom has no need for a wicked woman like you. Pretending to be a saint? I don't recall doing such a thing. Fun, you're still trying to act innocent even at a time like this. Claude sneered. When I was young, I received an oracle from the goddess. I became a saint at the same time the previous saint was no more. From generation to generation, it was the duty of the saint to pray for the kingdom. The saint was a person tasked with putting up barriers and channeling the protection of various goddesses. Because such a being existed, the kingdom had continued to prosper for many years. So what on earth is this prince thinking? Your words aside, without a saint this kingdom will collapse. Does your highness know exactly what a saint is? Ha! In the first place, something like a saint should just be buried along with the previous generation. How much tax money do you think we have to spend for your meaningless prayers and other unnecessary things? You're nothing but a scammer leeching off the money of the royal family. Scammer? The power within the prayer of a saint was genuine. To be buried along with the previous generation. He had no reason to say such a terrible thing. Besides, the tax covered only my minimum living expenses. In fact, Prince Claude, aren't you the one indulging in luxury? Your Highness, you're mistaken. Actually... Enough excuses. Also, stop that meaningless prayer. I get goosebumps simply by seeing you kneeling down to pray. Huh? Are you sure about that? You think it will be a good idea if I stop praying? If I stop praying and something happened to the barriers, by tomorrow the city might be invaded by powerful monsters. The crops wouldn't grow either. I wonder if Claude thought that far ahead. Most likely not, because the guy was an idiot. In the first place, I never wanted to get engaged with you anyway. However, the tradition forces me to be tied down with you, the supposed saint. The feeling is mutual. That was right. Claude and I were engaged. For generations, the prince and the saint always got married when they grew up. Even the late queen, whom passed away of illness, was originally the saint who protected that kingdom. For me to be engaged to such a handsome boy. When I was a child, the engagement caused my heart to go aflutter. But right away, it showed. Only his appearance was good. The inside, not so much. He was a dumb person. His personality was also bad. I wanted to break up with him as soon as I could, but there was the thing called tradition. Now that Claude had ended it, it was a wish come true. Despite so. You're breaking off our engagement? But if you do that, your own reputation will also be... He should still consider that, right? From my side, too, just to go against the tradition, I felt a slight resistance toward the idea. That was probably why I was still trying to reason with him. Although at that point I was merely doing it out of formality. Stop! A woman's voice resounded. Just because of me, don't start fighting! This person. What a thing to say. The woman who had been standing beside Claude from a while ago. That woman, Leticia, was exactly the reason why Claude only got worse.